Hey guys, welcome back to the shop, and today I'm going to be showing you guys how to transfer a photo to a piece of wood. Alright, well, to start off with the photo transfer, we're going to have to find a picture that we want to use. And I'm going to go ahead and go with this picture. I think it's a nice picture, and I'm going to be bringing this project to my grandma after I finish. And I think she'll like that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to drag the picture into Microsoft PowerPoint. Alright, now that I have my picture at a size that is manageable, we need to figure out how big we want to make it. Now, the way I have PowerPoint set up is I have these little ruler guideline things, and I've found that when you print things out, they're about 1 inch. So I know that the piece of wood that I'm working with is 7 inches, maybe? I don't remember how big the piece of wood that I'm using is, but I know that this is going to fit. So now we need to print it. But before I hit print, I'm using these Avery light fabric transfers, the iron-on transfer papers. And here I have a small piece of aspen, and we're going to be transferring a photo onto this. Now before we transfer this, we do have to trim it, and this is the important part. You want to get really close to the picture, but obviously don't cut the picture. And you want to try to round off the corners just a little bit. After we transfer the photo, it's going to leave a thin film around the photo where this white part is. And on top of that, we need to leave a tab for us to hold on to. Now I'm right-handed, so I'm going to be holding the iron with my right hand, so when I flip this over, I'm going to need to have a tab over here. And for this tab, you do want to make sure that it is fairly thick. Alright, and now we have a really thin line, maybe a 1/16 of an inch. So now we're going to go ahead and transfer it. Now we're going to do roughly 20-second passes. I'm going to speed it up quite a bit though. And I'm going to be holding this part as I go left to right, then top to bottom, and then just, make sure it's all really nice and flat. And I'm also intentionally leaving the picture crooked because I'm going to show you guys how to fix that afterwards. Now you do want the iron to be the hottest that it can be. I believe the hottest for cotton. And you do need to keep a fairly firm grip on that little tab because the photo is going to want to slide around. And now we just need to wait about 2 minutes or so. Basically just until it's cold. Alright, I'm not sure how well it shows up on the camera, but it does have a little bit of a yellowish tint. And that's the filming that I was talking about. And now out to the shop to fix this not squareness. Alright, so to fix the crookedness of this, we're going to need 2 things. One is the miter gauge that can slide back and forth. And one of these guys. Now what we're going to do is take the wooden part, butt it up against any edge really, because if the picture is square and the wood's square, you only really need to find one angle. So we're going to butt it up against here, and then take the metal arm and line it up perfectly with the side of the photo. Make sure to get that screwed down tight. Alright, and then just go ahead and double check all the edges, just to be sure. Alright, so now we have this odd angle. And that's where this crappy table comes in. On the end there, you can see that it's not a perfect cube. There are these 2 little channels on the side. And this blade is not as thick as the wood. So we're going to take the wood, set it in that channel, push it back towards the, I guess that's sort of a fence. And then now we have the fence at the right angle. I can't do that while holding it, so give me 1 minute. Alright. I did that on the wrong side. The way it's tilted now is just gonna double the angle. There we go, this should work nicely. Alright, now I'm going to eyeball these cuts about a 1/4 inch or so away from the actual photo. And let me plug it in. I'm trying to line it up a bit. The glare off the table is really bad right now. Alright, so I ran into a bit of a funny problem. So, the first time I did it, I cut one side, turned it, cut the next, turned it, but this time I just cut the two sides here. And why that's a problem is now when I try to cut it, either of these two off, I'm now going to have an odd angle again, just in the opposite direction. So now I need to set my miter gauge back to 90 degrees and run it through to cut off these two sides. Alright, so that's how I transfer photos to wood. If you'd like to see how I clean up the edges and finish it, check out this other video.